Okay, I'm really excited because I'm going to tell the whole thing in 2 weeks.
Okay, you ready?
Oh my god, I'm so scared.
Go.
Oh my god. Wait, no.
It started.
Excuse me, that's so much. Ah! I'm not going to finish the story. I need 2 more minutes. I'm so stressed right now.
Go ahead.
Take it away, Maya.
Welcome back to Wine About It, everybody. This is a very exciting episode of Wine About It because we're back from girls' trip.
Oh,
How?
Maya. Oh, sorry, swearsies. Look.
We have started a timer for Wine About It so we know how long to go. Guys.
Because we are...
Struggling.
Well, you're going to start with that? We're starting at the struggle part of the episode. You guys are going to love this story.
Good things are happening and bad things are happening. A good thing that's happening, I just got here. Guys, I was in an Uber for 2 hours and I just got here. Cutie set up everything.
Yeah.
Before I got here, and it's all working.
I did. Wait, okay, I can see what they're talking about. I'm just going to adjust it a little bit.
Other things, we now have whiteboards with topics.
Whiteboards with topics?
We can talk about things, or we can remember things that we are going to talk about, and we have a timer that shows how long this is going to go.
And I set it all up.
She set it all up. It was supposed to be 2 hours, but rush hour in LA, baby. It's now an hour and a half. I am genuinely sorry. That is my fault. Well, it's my fault, but it's also LA
It's not.
sucks.
It's LA sucks, and also, I can't take full credit because, well, I actually did so good by myself before I had to call Space. I did so good.
That's huge.
It was really, really good. Someone in chat just said,
I knew you were going to read that. Don't read it.
flashbang, but it's kind of funny because it is.
Do you want me to
Because
turn down
I'm
the
so
ISO?
white, I'm like, no, because as the sun sets, it'll go away.
Okay.
It's just, it's Hasan
Hasan!
rating. That's right. That's what's up.
That's
Mitch Jones.
The reason that it's only an hour and a half is because Hasan is coming.
Hasan is coming. But you guys won't see that until next week.
Yeah, because that's being recorded offline.
It's an offline recording.
And Austin is coming.
And Austin!
Hooray!
It's going to be really, really cool.
It's going to be sick.
Speaking of, as we've talked about our restructure, you guys know, we've talked about our restructure. Maya, tell them how it's going.
Guys, it's, I don't know how it's going. Okay, here's what the plan was. We were supposed to do 3 offline episodes a month and a live Wine About It a month and a Dine About It.
And an Omegle.
And an Omegle video, which is
a lot.
A lot, because when I come to LA, I usually am in and out within 48 hours. This time, I'm here for longer, but we've been doing girls trip. There's no room to record Wine About It. We did record Wine About It the day before girls trip. We recorded Wine About It the day before girls trip. We recorded 2 hours. And terrible news. It's unusable.
The episode will never be seen.
Because the audio it sounds like there's a DJ scratching a record the whole time. We don't know what it is. It's not a physical problem. It wasn't the mic.
We know what it was.
Okay, both mics were on the same frequency.
She didn't want to blame me.
We messed it up.
I even tested. That's the craziest thing. Is I tested and I figured out why I didn't see it in the because I rewatched my test because it's been bothering me.
Yeah.
For a few days. So I rewatched the test video, and the reason is because I didn't talk into the mics at the same time. I said testing mic 1, and then I said testing mic 2, and so there was no.
So whenever we were talking, it was like it's unusable. So we had to scrap the entire episode. Then we're supposed to record. So our offline episode is scrapped.
Well, there was also the best thing you guys should know about the offline episode is we had about 2 breakdowns in the middle of recording the offline episode, and then had about a 30 to 45 minute argument after the episode was over.
We got in a fight.
We fighted.
And really, truly,
we're breaking up.
I think that it's because we're both a little burnt out and a little tired, and we were both like this, like we knew it was going to be too much. You know,
grumpy.
We were just like, this is, we didn't want to do it going into it. We were like, this is going to suck. Are we telling the whole story?
Yeah, we have a podcast.
Here, welcome to the podcast. So we started the podcast. I was really concerned about the audio. I kept looking at the mixer, and I was like, Cutie, I don't think the audio is set up. I was like, I'm worried about the audio. And she was like, we're killing momentum. and I would get up to fix. I was so mad. And I would get up to fix the audio or think I was fixing the audio, and she was like, and then we had to keep like restarting because I would go fix the audio, and it just like killed the vibe. And then Hasan, thank you so much for the raid. What's up, everybody? Hasan is gonna be here. You might see him for just a little tiny second, but then you have to see him in an offline episode on YouTube. We're gonna ask him all of the questions that you want to know. Trust me.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Ask him if he shaves his butt hair.
Yeah.
It's gonna be awesome.
That's written down. So we kept messing up because of the audio, and then I didn't come with anything written down, stories, because I have been treating Wine About It like a stream where it's like we just bounce off each other and then we bounce off a chat. So it doesn't have to be. Chat saves us because they redirect, you know? And so I was just expecting to come here, sit down, talk to Cutie for 2 hours, right?
It's harder without chat. Who would have thought?
Yeah. Cutie came with stories written down.
A list.
A list of stories. And we got like halfway through the podcast. I thought it was going really well. Like, we talked about a couple stories, whatever. It's a 2-hour podcast. And, okay, it was an hour and 45 minutes. So we got, like, an hour through. And then Cutie starts telling this story.
That Maya hates. Maya hates my story.
I didn't hate it.
She hated it.
I didn't hate it.
She's like, your story's boring.
I didn't say that.
And then she jumped on the beer pong table.
That's crazy. I would never do that.
I hate when you call me boring.
I would never do that. She's telling the story, and it was like a 40-minute story. Or like maybe 45 minutes. And I just didn't know how to, because it was about a cake, and I didn't know how to like add, you know, so I was just sitting here for like 40 minutes, and I didn't know what to say, and there was no chat to redirect it. I didn't know how to redirect. And so we just told the whole story, and then I made this mistake, and I apologize for this, and I do feel bad about this. But then,
I forgive you.
But then at the end of the podcast...
It's still recording. We have not wrapped up the podcast.
We haven't wrapped up.
We haven't said, like, bye, it's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, Cutie's just... she's telling something else, and then she's like, oh my gosh, I remembered something else about the cake. And I go, Cutie, I don't think we can talk about the cake anymore. And she was like, you don't like my cake story? And I was like, Cutie, we've talked about the cake for like 45 minutes. I don't think we can do it anymore. You have to save it for the next podcast. And then we ended the podcast, and Cutie was like,
I was like, that was mean.
She was like, that was mean. Like, I'm really frustrated. Like, you resident sleepered me IRL. Like, I don't know. That just, it was really rude and a crazy thing for a co-host to do, to just like shut me down. And I was like, you're right. And I was like, but the story was really fucking long.
Okay.
And then we had this like argument about it. It's funny, but like we were kind of, we were a little set.
It was a typical Cutie Maya argument where there's a lot of, I feel like we both come in with a lot of logic.
Yeah.
We come in with a lot of logic. I feel like we both see each other's perspective, and we just make sure that we both thoroughly understand each other's perspective.
Yeah.
Like, so thoroughly.
Are those typical? We've only had one other. It wasn't even an argument.
No.
The only thing close,
I think we've had 3.
I can only think 2. What was the third? I think it's the sponsor and this.
I remember it, but we can't talk about it because we haven't gotten contracts locked up yet. It was just like a little one. It wasn't even an argument. It was just me being like, I'm sad, I need space before I can process this conversation.
For what? Wait, actually mute, because I want to know what you're talking about.
Oh, muting moment.
Okay, are you unmuted? That wasn't an argument, though.
I know, but it was just like a moment of like, you know, being real.
Anyway,
but here's the deal. I saved this story. My chat kept asking
I feel so bad
about the cake story, and I was so excited to tell it on the podcast. So I saved this story, and people would come in my chat to ask me about the cake story, and I'd be like, no, wait for Wine About It, wait for Wine About It. And then I tell the story, and I tell Maya, I was like, I saved the story. I saved it. And the issue is I wrote down actually so many topics, but we learned this too. Maya had the timer. So I didn't know how much time I had to fill. Yeah. So I was just doing typical me, where I was just like, You guys know I'm an exaggerator, but anyway, I do have a challenge today. I wrote down on our topic list, cake story, but 2 minutes. So I have to tell the whole story in 2 minutes.
That is a crazy development.
It's going to be awesome. Because it's still a really important story to me.
It is important. It is important. And it's important to her because cakes are important to her, and it was genuinely, like, a lot.
Yeah,
like,
if you were talking about a bird, I would be like, you're so boring. I'd be like,
I
tell me
didn't
about
say
that
you were
bird.
boring. I just...
You said you
but
hated
then I
me
told
and you
Cutie,
hated my family.
I never said that. I said I don't think any story should be longer than 20 minutes. I think 15 is pushing it. And Cutie was like, we disagree. And I was like, uh-oh.
You said 5 minutes.
I didn't. There's no way you're going to get me to say 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
I did not say 5 minutes.
She's gaslighting me right now.
No, you are gaslighting me.
You said nothing should be longer than 5 minutes. And I was like, Maya, that's so many stories. I agree with you on 15 to 20. I understand.
I did not say 5 minutes.
She said 5.
No, I didn't.
New fight. This bitch said 5. I would have agreed with you.
I did not say 5.
Well, great. Now we got in a fight for no reason.
Now we're fighting. Yeah, so we had this like long conversation about how we run wine about it and how we need to balance, you know, like short, dumb, whatever, and talking about boys, and then having like, you know, like stories, like longer stories, and just see what people like and whatever. So
it's gonna be a work in progress is essentially what we want you guys to know.
I am worried currently that we have bit off more than we can chew with our rebrand and the restructuring. That being said, we're doing girls trip right now. We have shit camp in a couple weeks.
Okay.
So like,
this is my problem. Do you want to hear a my problem, chat?
yes.
Be careful with your top.
Tape.
I have so much tape under here. Like, I can't show you, but it's just blue from here on out. It's all blue tape. Like, it's literally duct tape all over here. So if I lean over, you will see blue. So don't worry. You did just leak camp. It has not been announced.
Oh. I don't know what that is.
It could be in months, she meant.
Maybe it's in months.
Anyway.
Sorry.
It's all right. I didn't want to do a big announcement or anything. It's cool. So what I do is I like planning these events, and something that calms my anxiety is knowing that Maya will be there for them. But that's insanely selfish, because what it does is it takes Maya's trips to LA from a day to 5 days. And I've done it like 4 times in a row now. And we didn't realize until literally this conversation that I was like, I've got to stop doing that. I need to make some friends here that make me feel calm. Because, oops.
It's just,
it's not your fault.
We both just have so much that we do. I have a fucking nonprofit, you know? I run a nonprofit. Cutie has 17 events with the worst people in the world to do logistics with a year, you know? Like, we just have so much to do, and then we come together and we try to do wine about it, and by the time we get to wine about it, we're just so tired. And, like, we just have to do so much of it, and it's just like, you know?
So, what's going to happen, what I decided, is you are going to see Maya at less of my events. And I'm going to do them without her, and I'm going to make another friend. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, it depends on the event. Like,
I know.
I will go to shit camp. Like,
if it happens,
I will go to
Streamer
Awards.
Camp happened. That'd be so weird.
But, like, probably not Christmas concert, because I won't sing there anyway.
Yeah, she's being unfriended.
She's got a couple other ideas that
I have a lot of stuff.
To.
I have an event pretty much once a month for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And in next year. And so Maya will no longer come to those. But it's good. It's actually fine.
She does events. I just like can't be in LA for a week every month. You know, it's just like the biggest part of my burnout is travel.
Yeah, I think if she gets burnt out from coming to LA for too much, then it's like I would rather just come the normal amount, and then we spend that time better instead of having to pull you to 12 different things. And so that's just how it works. So
yeah.
So I have to make a friend, which is actually something my therapist told me.
Yeah, that's a crazy story. You should talk about that.
Okay, I didn't even write that down.
That is really...
So, listen up. pull your chairs up. I've got a lot of trauma in my life. It's fine. I think it makes me pretty interesting. But I was talking to my therapist, and she wants to do this thing called TMDI. What's it called? TDMI? Trauma something therapy? EMDR.
EMDR.
Where did I get TMDI?
I don't know. I don't know why I
Total
forgot
Drama
that.
Island.
Oh my god.
That's what it was. DMT. We're going to do drugs together.
HDMI.
Me and my therapist. No. EMDR. It's a trauma therapy.
I did it.
Kinds. She's done it.
It was developed for veterans to recall traumatic
To
events.
feel like
Or to
PTSD.
help for PTSD. Yeah,
Yeah.
for PTSD and veterans.
I've done it once before with a different therapist, and I kind of felt nothing about it. I don't know how you're supposed to feel about it. But
it made me crazy for a second.
it made her crazy for a day or two, she said.
Yeah.
She lost her car.
Dude, I parked my car on a 45-minute meter for 48 hours without knowing that I parked it there.
Do you think I did it wrong?
What?
Do you think I did it wrong?
I would
The first
not
time I
be,
did
this
it?
is a crazy thing to say, I would not be surprised at all if your control issues are so bad and you were so in your head while she was doing it that you were trying to that you could not get into it because you were trying to control what happened to you. I'm being serious about that.
No, you're right. I've actually done hypnotherapy, and it didn't work because of that.
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. I've got a lot of stuff, though, that needs to be dealt with, unfortunately. And so that was with my old therapist. I have a brand new, sparkly therapist. Don't tell my old therapist, though, because I'm cheating on him, if I'm being honest.
I could never have a male therapist. That's crazy that he was male.
Cheating on him. He doesn't know. I feel kind of dirty about it. I feel like really bad.
You shouldn't.
I don't know why, but I feel a little bad. But I just felt like I've been with him for like a year.
Yeah.
And I haven't felt any progress, but I don't want to like dump him completely because like what if
Dump him.
Well, what if this new therapist doesn't work out either? So I like kind of started working with the new therapist at the same time as the other one because it's so hard to start over.
But your new therapist won't let you start EDMR.
Yeah.
Why is this so hard for my brain?
She won't let me go to EDC.
ED.
I'm livid. EDMR.
Is it EDMR? EMDR. EMDR. Oh my God.
You're
Sorry,
dyslexic.
I'm having a stroke. She won't let you start
EMDR.
EMDR.
Because
Why?
I don't have any friends.
Tell her what she told you to do.
She said, and I was like, oh, and she was like, you don't have a support system in California.
She was like, I've got Maya. And she was like, no.
Yeah. I was like, Maya's my friend. She was like, no. If you are like in a state of panic and you need a friend, you need more than your boyfriend. And the reason you have to have more than your boyfriend is because in case that relationship causes any trauma.
Right.
Because if you're like going through something for some reason and then like a man, essentially men have caused a lot of trauma in my life, unfortunately.
Same.
And so sometimes, even though like I love my boyfriend very, very much, for all I know, she explained this to me. Apparently, him being a man could not help. Like I just need options.
Yeah.
I need options.
Yeah.
And she said I don't have enough friends. So she told me she was like, what are things you like? And I was like, I don't know. I like volleyball. I like reading. She was like, join a book club. And I was like, that's going to be great. She was like, join a walking club in your neighborhood. And I was like, that's going to be great.
Oh,
Imagine me joining the walking club.
Oh, so out of touch and cringe. I hate it.
What am I going to do at the walking club?
I hate. Anyway, Cutie has to make friends before her therapist will even work with her.
My therapist won't help me until I make friends.
Just like part of the
It's
problem.
so sad. I can't make friends because I have too much trauma.
Sad.
They don't like me. I actually had so much fun at girls trip
Girls trip with the ladies.
with some of the girls.
Hello, Austin.
Austin was just in the chat, and he's on his way here.
Hooray.
Very excited. Oh, I'm so excited for this episode. It's going to be so good. Anyway, I was so excited about spending time. Some of the girls, I feel like lucky. Is that weird?
Some of those girls are sick.
They're so sick.
They're so sick.
I feel lucky to have been able to spend time
There were
with them.
some of them where I really value funny. Like,
Yeah.
that's, like, really high priority for me and people that I like to hang out with. And some of those girls I did not think were funny. I'm going to be honest. I went in there, I was like,
No, before
none of them are
girls
funny.
trip.
Right. And then girls trip, and I was like, wait, she's kind of funny. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Miko was hilarious.
Miko was so funny. Jamie was funny. Sid, funny. Like I was so
Dude,
impressed.
Jamie's hilarious too.
I just said that.
I know, but
She doesn't listen to me.
I do. Everyone really, when they had their opportunity to shine, most people were funny.
Yeah.
I say most because
Wine
what?
review.
You're asking? I was gonna get there, but if you want to do it now, we can.
Someone's saying wine review, ding dong.
This is a very special wine to me. I
Okay.
spent an afternoon with Britt, Sid, and Jody
Okay.
on what was supposed to be a vineyard tour, but the stream effed. So
So it's just
so it's just us.
it was just them hanging out.
It was awesome, actually. Anyway, this is from the vineyard. It's a family-owned vineyard. It's called Saddle Rock, and it's because they have a rock that looks like a horse saddle.
Cool.
Very cool. You like horses?
I do.
They used to I want to get the tea from you. I have a feeling that this is what happened. They used to have giraffe there, and zebras there, and like a bunch of like exotic animals.
They
And
shot them
it was
dead.
I don't think they did that.
Oh.
But after COVID, because I went there a few years ago, after COVID, I came back, they're all gone. And I say to the guy, I'm like, why are they gone? And he's like, oh, they just found new homes, blah, blah, blah. Do you think they got shut down by the state because they weren't supposed to have exotic animals?
I mean, it's possible.
There's
yeah.
gotta be
If
some
they didn't
drama.
have the permitting. I just can't imagine that they would get those animals and have an operation like that without having the permits. But in California, yeah.
It was a, they had the giraffe from The Hangover
Yikes.
on their property. The one that lost its head, but it didn't lose its real head.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was so strange. Or maybe COVID, they weren't making enough money.
They moved them to Texas. They would get caught up in not having the permits for exotics in California and just ship them off to Texas. Texas is not going to give a flying frick.
That's so sad.
Yeah, that is sad.
Well, anyway, Saddle Rock, this is their Merlot, and it's a new vision for Malibu family wines.
Hooray!
Sophisticated yet incredibly balanced. To see for yourself, get a good pair of glasses. Oh, that's clever. Get it?
No.
To see for yourself, get a good pair of glasses, but also drinking glasses.
Oh!
It's a wine joke. All right. Well, your glass is a little gross.
It's okay.
Okay, it's just hard water.
Pee-pees.
That's nice. That's a nice pour. Now, it is the temperature of my car that I left it in.
Yeah.
So it is pretty good, if you ask me.
Ugh.
Pretty good. Yum. Oh my.
You know what's crazy about wine about it? Neither of us like wine.
But I also prefer it.
But you don't like it.
You're right. I don't like alcohol. Does anyone actually like alcohol?
I like beer.
You like it. Like if you could have a root beer or a beer, you would have a beer.
I don't like root beer. Cutie, by myself, I will sit on my balcony at night and I will have a beer. Just to like hang out.
You're so cool.
I'm really cool. And I also
I'd
do
love to be
drugs
picked.
out there. Oh my gosh, true. Wait, pick me? Please?
Yeah, I don't see if I had the option of a beer or a Diet Coke, I'm choosing a Diet Coke.
It depends on the occasion.
Do you like getting a little buzzy? Is that why you like it, or do you like the taste?
I like the taste.
Beer about it. It's got a ring to it.
Beer about it.
I don't know.
What kind of beer? I like myself. Please pick me. I like myself I like hoppy and citrusy IPAs. I like when they're real bitter.
Well, why don't you like this wine then? Because this wine is so bitter.
It's not the same.
You know, I changed my mind. I like wine.
Okay. She's lying.
I just want to like something for once. Please.
Hazy IPAs are all right too. Yeah, I'm a hipster. Anyway, girls trip was sick. Those girls were funny. It was fun. They all like came through for each other. Those streams were great.
Oh my god, the teamwork was the best part.
Crazy stuff.
Everybody worked so freaking hard, except for, I should say that. I was gonna say except for when it came to like picking up garbage. It was a mess.
Oh. Dude, Cutie and
It was
I
a
had a
mess.
terrible morning. Well, actually, me, Cutie, Alex, Britt, and Alinity all had to load up Cutie's car, and the stairs on that house are crazy. It is a castle. There's so many.
Castle.
There's so many stairs, and we had to carry everything and all the trash down so many flights of stairs, and it just sucked. It really, really sucked.
But I learned if I ever did something like that again, I would hire an unload crew and a load up crew.
Alex, A-L-L-U-X.
U, 2 X's, or 2 U's.
A-L-U-U-X.
Her name is so hard for my
A-L-L-U-U-X.
dyslexia. I'm not even kidding. Her name is one of the hardest names for me. Alex.
Yeah.
But it was just, everything was just too heavy. It was just really, really, really freaking hard.
What was your favorite stream?
My favorite stream was surfing.
Me too.
It's so fun.
Dude, surfing was sick. I thought that surfing would be so hard and I would hate the water, but it was genuinely fun and we all got to stand up and it was wicked and I want to go surfing again. But I live in Texas, so I will not. Goats were cool too. Chatter. I don't know about that business model. I'm going to be honest. I said this on the stream. I cannot for the life of me understand why anybody would want to do that.
Yeah, like pay to do goat yoga?
Yeah. Just have goats climb all over you all day. I already have goats climb all over me all day. I was just like, get off of me.
Goat.
Get off of me.
Like, you wouldn't go to a cat cafe if you had 20 cats.
That's true.
So
I do
you
love
already have
goats,
goats.
though. I love goats.
Also, they're the same size as you. So it's just, like, different.
They were heavy. It actually hurt.
They were heavy,
Chat,
and it did hurt.
Wearing a tank top was a mistake. I had scratches. My back was so red. And then one of them knocked me over, that clip, it knocked me over, and I got a hoof in my ear, and I thought my ear was bleeding for, like, the rest of the stream. It hurt.
And
like,
then
that
it ran away and texted Beetle and was like, got her.
Yeah.
Beetle's for goat, by the way, for our podcast only fans that. Oh wait.
Whoa.
Whoa. You know what I meant.
We're gonna make so much money.
People that don't know that Maya has goats
I have goats.
because they only like our podcast.
Yeah.
Imagine we started a podcast OnlyFans instead of a Patreon. That'd be so funny. But it's not nudes. But the issue is the branding would fuck us for other sponsors.
Yeah.
If people just said we had an OnlyFans, even though it was just like
Yeah.
freaking pictures of my cats. That'd be so funny though.
Actually, it wasn't, one of the platforms for that did approach me like
Really?
a year ago, and they asked if I wanted to have one for pictures of animals. And they're like, you could do it for charity. And I was like,
It's so hard. Because people sometimes they just see the branding and th're like, oh, bye-bye. And you're like, no.
yeah.
I just post pictures of my feet. Please. But yeah, the surfing was great. It looks like people in the chat mentioned that Sydney already talked about the surf guys. They were so funny for stream. They were
that
so funny.
blonde guy was a slow talker. I love that. He started talking. I was like, yes, you're so funny. I love them both. They're so funny.
So, the funny thing is I go out there, and it's just me and him, right? And he's like, so what video games do you play? You know?
Yeah.
And I was like, League of Legends. He's like, oh, I've watched Cloud9 versus TSM play. And I said, I'm on TSM.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, so you're a professional player? And I was like,
He did not say it like that. He said,
Yeah.
oh, so you're a professional.
you're right. He did say it like that. Like Crush from Finding Nemo. He said it like that. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
So you're a professional. And I was like, no, not exactly. And then and then I surfed. You know, I just took a wave and I hit the Nar. And then Jody comes back up to shore and she's like, did you lie to that guy and tell him you're a professional League of Legends player? I was like, Jody, I was like, no, I told him that I was like a cheerleader more than anything. And he was like, yeah, he said that you're on TSM and you play professionally. And I was like, she was like, I lied for you. I said, yeah, she's really good. I was like, that's a good friend. It was so funny.
I liked them a lot. I had no problems with them. It wasn't a problem, but one of them did have a little crush on Jody.
Who doesn't have a crush on Jody?
True. Man, Jody is, I said this podcasts ago. Jody is one of, if not the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life. It's not just I was talking to Cutie about this in the car. I was like, it's not just the way that she looks, it's the way that she moves, it's the way that she speaks. She's just so graceful and beautiful. It's unreal. She's like ethereal. I have a huge crush on Jody, but so did this surf instructor. And he asked her if she would go get a drink, and she was like, I have a boyfriend. And then he was like, oh, what if you get mad at your boyfriend? Then we can go get a drink. And she was like, no, I don't want to do that. And he was like, well, you can have 2 boyfriends. And she was like,
he did his best to like make a joke out of getting rejected.
Chat, there were 4 girls standing there watching it happen. He just didn't have an exit to the conversation. That's how I feel. I think he was just making jokes. I don't think he was being aggro or anything.
Yeah.
And Jody was like, you know what? If something goes wrong, I'll just call your surf shop. I know where to find you. And he's like, okay.
He's like, okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because you must think as surf instructors in freaking Malibu or Venice is where we went surfing. They probably do get that a lot. Probably just like waves of tourists.
100%.
And so
these guys are fucking. These guys live.
Definitely.
They just live. You know,
young and wild and free.
They take women surfing. They're behind our boards, guiding us through the waves.
Looking at my toes.
Yeah, looking at our toes. It's just, that's for sure. That's for sure gonna happen.
Because they even were just like asking the questions that like you're a genius for. Like they're just a genius. They know exactly what they're doing. They're geniuses for asking these questions. They're like, how long are you in town for? Yep. And then we're like, oh, we live here. And they're like, oh, they kind of less interested, because they're like, we just want to go have fun, which I'm sure happens all the time. Like they're probably Giga Chads.
Yeah.
But that was so fun. I would do it again.
I loved it. I want to go surfing more. I felt like a surfer, like twice out there. I felt like I was surfing twice, which I did not expect. I didn't expect to stand up, truly. So that was my favorite stream. I really liked that.
That was my favorite stream too. I feel bad for Girls Trip. My number one, as we do with all of the events I do, my number one regret is just tech is a learning thing. This is the first time that I was 1,000% the tech support.
I was there.
You were there, but I prepped everything to take it. Besides, you actually reached out to Myth. Myth gave us a backpack. Thank goodness. Because of Maya asked him, which was really nice.
Hello.
So hearts in chat to Myth, but we also, Myth just upgraded his backpack, and his camera kept overheating, and he didn't know because I don't think he's done an IRL stream with it. So it's like, there was just like all these little things that kept messing up, but now I know for next time. I mean, that's my biggest regret.
Tech is tough.
Tech is hard. I also, this is a crazy thing I'm going to say out loud to everyone because I've never said this so definitively. I will never do a girls trip like that again. Ever.
What do you mean like that again? I thought you just...
Because, I mean, if I ever did a girls trip, it would be 4 girls and we'd go to Cabo.
Oh, right.
Like,
she was like, we just cut it down. We just do a trip where it's like...
Just 4 girls. Nothing planned. We stay at a hotel.
A stream just like raids into a stream, maybe 2 streams in a day. That's it,
And it's like a real vacation.
Right. Yeah.
I think it was a really cool thing to learn and a really cool thing to see. I think the really hard thing about Twitch, and I mean this is something we've hit on 1,000 times before, is you could think of 10 guys that get along really, really well. Right now. So easy. 10 guys. But then you think of 10 girls that get along really, really well, and you don't see it. We're all really segregated. We're all different. And that's because the platform is so different. It's so vast. And we've all had to deal with so much that it's just different. Yeah. And so it didn't mesh as well as I was hoping. No one hated each other by any means. But it was just that, like, I'm the type of girl that just, like, I feel like I can get along with anyone within 2 seconds of meeting them. Like, most people aren't, And I'll say, a lot of people.
Lame.
I've had this before happen with my events. A lot of people, came to the conclusion of, yo, why did that person get invited? Why did this person get invited? What the heck? Like, what the heck? Didn't you know this? And I will say something about all my events is a lot of times people get invited based off of vouchers from other people. And I do my best to just make sure, like, I trust my friends. And you just never know what's going to happen. And then you just learn about people as you get to know them. And that's just how it works. That's how events works with a lot of people. You just learn as you go.
Yeah.
And
you still
then
invited Maya.
And I still somehow invited Maya.
Hello.
And I know a lot about her. But yeah, that's just how it works with events. Is you just meet people and you learn.
Yeah.
But it was I think, for me personally, I think it's cool seeing people you'd never see interact with each other.
I think so too. It's like crossover episodes.
Yeah.
I like it.
I explained it like seeing the Avengers come together. Like, you can always watch Spider-Man stream, but you can't necessarily see Iron Man and Spider-Man together.
Yeah.
So that's what I go for, even though it turned out to be a little more quiet at first for some people, but the more they've gotten along, the last night was way better than the first night.
Yes.
Like, chemistry-wise, which is cool.
Which is cool. It was a good event. This morning sucked ass.
Today was awful.
Oh my god. We had a brunch planned. Cutie had a brunch planned for offline. And we had to 16 girls had to put in their orders yesterday for this brunch place, right? So they did.
Because it was a big enough amount of people that you have to have a party. You have to have a private party. So 16 girls order their food. Then this morning, Cutie and I realized we have to pack up the entire car and take everything down all these stairs. Guys, her entire car is like, it's like Tetris in there. I mean, it's so much and it's so heavy. And so we're late, right? We're late to the reservation. We get to the reservation and they're like, there's a 15-minute grace period, so you're out, and also, I don't know what you're talking about with having orders, even though Cutie's already been charged for the orders. Yeah, they put a card on file, we send in the orders, and I've already been charged. They told me they'd already charged me for the orders, and we get there, and they're like, nope, sorry, we closed. Chat, it was a really cute brunch place in LA. 16 meals is not cheap there. And they were just like, we don't know what you're talking about. Nobody tells me anything. I don't know what this reservation is. And also part of it is I hired a photographer because I just wanted kind of like a nice little thank you for all the girls coming, and I figured, let me hire a photographer, dress up cute, let's go to brunch together. They'll take pictures, post them. There you go for your socials. You're welcome. Like, I didn't even take pictures. I didn't really care even about myself. I just wanted, as a thank you to all the girls, to do something like that. So he was there. Photographer was there for the 15-minute grace period the whole time. And they told us that they closed between breakfast and lunch too. For 30 minutes. So they're like, you can wait 30 minutes and come back for lunch. Get over yourself. We're like, man, no. And so, but then the photographer was already there. So we're like, all right, let's just take some pictures, even though Hugh and I were both like, fuck. Like, we were both stressed. We're like, mad. This sucks. We're hungry, this is so sweaty, dumb. But we were like, let's just take the pictures because the photographer's here, whatever. He starts taking pictures. He takes pictures of all of us. And then, mind you, there's only 5 of us. Everybody else didn't go. Oh, yeah. Everybody else didn't go. So we thought we were going to have 11 extra meals anyway. Yeah. Everybody else backed out. Because they're tired. So it was just 5 of us. So he starts taking pictures of the 5 of us. He takes some pictures. Some lady comes up, asks for the photographer's name, and is like, you're going to have to buy a media license if you want to take pictures here. It's just hotel policy. Which is crazy because I had my assistant, she's been emailing them since the original girls trip in May. And she got approval for pictures. She was like, oh, we're going to have girls come. We're going to take some cute pictures for Instagram. We're all stupid freaking creators. Like, blah, blah, blah. It was so LA, dude. And LA. And we got kicked out of taking photos. Yeah. So then we left. And then we went to like a burger place. I got a tuna melt. I got cheeseburger. And she got cheeseburger. And we sat down. We just like ate a normal lunch at a diner. It was crazy. I have no clue. I'm having my assistant deal with the charge or whatever, because I don't know. I mean, I assume, I have no clue. I'm sure I'll pay some of it, but it's like, I just have no clue.
And then I had a meeting. I had a big business meeting. And then
She's important.
I'm important. And then I got in a 2-hour-long Uber,
Ugh.
which was expensive. And we were in traffic the whole time. And the Uber driver's not going to see this. It doesn't matter.
The Uber driver is not
Okay,
gonna
he's
see
not
this.
gonna. Okay, I got in the car. He started talking. I was like, my dude,
No.
I was like, man, we have 2 hours in here. I'm telling you, if I talk to you, if I hold a conversation for 2 hours, my social battery is gone. I enter the podcast in the negative. I can't do it.
What'd
And
you
he
say to
keeps
him?
talking. I pretended to fall asleep.
Middle conversation.
Middle of the conversation, I pretended to fall asleep. He was talking to me. I didn't answer. Eyes closed. And I just kept my eyes closed for the rest of the ride.
I can't believe you did that.
It had to be done. I'm telling you, cutie, if I talked to him for the 2 hours, I would not be able to talk on this podcast. I would be in my room, like, in a ball. I can't. It had to be done.
That's fine, I suppose.
I'm sorry. He was so nice. I'm really sorry. I'm gonna tip him a lot because he was talking to a wall for 2 hours. That's hard.
That is hard. Poor guy. He's probably so lonely and he just wanted to talk to you. His therapist probably told him he needs friends. And he's like, I'll make friends with people in the back of my car. Now I can't do his EMDR. So lame.
He kept talking. No. Well, okay. Then he had to get gas. So we pulled into a gas station, and I opened my eyes because I was like, Uber driver's stopping somewhere. I can tell he's pulling into somewhere.
Oh my god, he
I've had
stopped
my
at a
eyes
gas
closed.
station with you in the car.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen in my life.
I've had it happen a couple times. But I realized he was pulling in somewhere, and I was like, he's taking advantage of thinking I'm asleep. He's going to kill me right now. So, of course, I pop up. I'm like, where are we? We're at a gas station. And then I was awake, right? So then he starts talking again. And then I had to do it again.
Oh my god, you did it twice?
Yeah. I don't know. I had to do it.
That's crazy.
The encore. Anyway.
As soon as I got back from brunch, I was working.
Dude, she's been on one today. I don't understand it.
I'm exhausted past the point of feeling anything.
I get that. The two times.
Smiley face.
What about AirPods? I tried AirPods before I tried falling asleep when I got in that car.
Oh shoot, that sucks.
I tried
is
AirPods
such a
and the
good
phone
solution.
and the scrolling. Nothing. But he was very nice. Anyway.
What about its last episode?
We talked about that.
We talked about that. But we didn't talk about the trailer.
We got in a fight. Oh, what'd you guys think of the trailer?
Did you guys see the trailer? At the end of Girls Trip, it played. Some of you were saying yes, some of you were saying no. Obviously, if you're listening to audio only, it's just screw chat, right? It doesn't matter what they're saying. We're not looking at them because we're practicing streaming offline because we're going to get good at it. I promise. We're really trying our best. I really, really promise.
Yeah.
It's just kind of hard without having instant reactions.
Ow,
but we're doing our best. Anyway,
Bit by an ant.
yeah, that was filmed by JHB's brother and edited by Austinox. I say JHB's brother. His name is Chuck.
His name is Chuck.
He deserves his own identity. But I just love that he's JHB's brother.
It's so funny.
I love that he's JHB's
so
brother.
funny,
'Cause
dude.
He's my favorite. He's like my new favorite guy.
Yeah, he's so sick.
I love Chuck.
Dude, he showed up at the doctor's office. We're getting ready to film. I was like, oh my god, shoot, we need a doctor. And I was like, Chuck, what are the odds of you calling up JHB right now to be our doctor? And he's like, oh yeah, I think he just woke up. I'll call him. He's at home still. And he called JHB, and JHB showed up. It was the doctor, and it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. That experience was crazy though. We rented
God.
weird place.
So in LA, you can rent pretty much any type of thing you need. There's an app for it. You just rent a set. So we rent a doctor's office thinking it's a set. We walk in.
Set.
It's a real doctor's office.
It's not a set. It's a doctor's office. And there were sterile things in there. And they were like, oh, just don't touch those. And I was like, how do you know I'm not going to touch those? And then Cutie and I ate in there. And they saw us eating, and they're
Hawaiian barbecue.
Yeah, they're like, whatever.
It was so weird because they even, when you go to a doctor's office and there's that red container that has that's where they put the used
Sharps.
needles and stuff in it. So it says like biohazard, has a red container, and it has like the needles and there's little pipes and they have red stuff in it. I'm assuming that is blood. And then we didn't even say this. The craziest thing the lady who rents it out says to us is, by the way, there's no AC.
What kind of actual doctor's office doesn't have AC? It is 97 degrees in LA right now.
It was so uncomfortably hot.
It was hot as dick. It sucked. I was trying to censor myself there and not say a bad word.
Dick
I guess that doesn't matter.
is a fine word because
Okay.
you used it scientifically.
Oh.
Because dicks do get really, really warm.
Okay, well, the thing that I want to point out is there was a representative from the office
Oh my God,
that
it was
stayed there
so
the whole
awkward.
time. So awkward.
We've never had that happen.
Yeah, because we just had to, like, film, and she was just there, which is really awkward. But she wasn't in the same room. I am fully convinced we could have filmed a porno in there. She would not have known. Would she even have stopped us? Was there even a rule against it? Nothing written.
I mean, she checked in every once in a while. Like, she would, like, go to the bathroom and kind of peek in. I mean, she was just, like, 2 rooms away. She definitely heard what we were saying, which is awkward.
But would she have walked in there if we were filming porn? I don't think so.
No, I feel like people have probably filmed porn.
Imagine your doctor's office, they rent out to people, and they've filmed porn in your doctor's office.
Yeah. So I didn't know she was in earshot, and I was talking some mad shit.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Because I was like, this is so gross. Like, I would never come to a doctor that rents out his office. I said it pretty loudly because I was confident she left, but apparently she was just in another room.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Anyway, that whole idea, we just wanted a channel trailer that was like super. Cutie and I do so bad scripted. We did have a script. Austinox wrote a script.
Austinox wrote our script, and we did not follow it up. Well, actually,
we used some of the jokes.
Maybe Austinox is a little biased because the only jokes he used in the edit
were his script.
Because we used his jokes and we were like, oh, those were bad. I did that thing where I said it out loud before I meant it.
They sound bad because they're scripted.
Yes.
That's what you mean.
Austinox's jokes written on paper were good. Coming out of our mouth was bad.
Do you guys remember the Streamer Awards? Remember when Cutie and I tried to tell scripted jokes at the Streamer Awards?
I'm usually really good at scripted jokes.
I am not good
at
scripted jokes.
What should we do next year that'll make it so we avoid that? Oh, I have an idea.
We just have to get funnier and we have to be better.
Oh, I think I'm funny with scripted jokes sometimes. Like my roast jokes. They're funny. So this is what I do. I do the monologue and then I cut to you in the audience and you do the improv.
Yes.
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 Oh my God, we were hoping for him.
I tried to pick him up and he yelled at me.
Audio listeners, Ludwig has walked in with the kitty cat that we wanted and he got mad.
Thank you, Lud. He's going to leave without closing the door. It's a crazy move.
He'll come back. He always does.
Durs, you cannot run away. You'll get eaten.
Oh my God, you're so smart. I have the smartest boyfriend in the world. Because we have the door open because it's hot, and so he grabbed
a spare door
that we have lying in our backyard and blocked off the entrance because he light it horizontally. I'm nervous about that crack right there. I'm nervous that the cat's going to do crack right there.
No, Durs.
Yes! That was
Thank you.
Awesome.
Amazing.
That was nice. Was Durs meowing for us? Did he want to come out?
They were both just outside my stream room, Swift and Durs.
Aww.
Looking for someone to love.
Sad. I feel bad for Swift.
Durs, don't do it.
Swift can't come out here because it's too hot, but maybe he can come out here later. It's too hot for Swift. He's wearing like a coat at all times. It's too long.
What are we talking about?
Thank you.
Oh, the script. Yeah, we just made up a bunch of stuff and we just talked.
I need some snacks.
Okay.
I just need a little bit of snack break. Yeah, the script was... I know, I just didn't know because I texted you to let me know if anyway, I didn't know if you were trying to tell me with your eyes.
No, I just messaged you.
Oh, you did? Okay, I haven't been able to see. Yeah, guys, I texted Ludwig and I was like, let me know if you want to make out. And so I was looking at his eyes to see if it meant yes or no. And so if it was yes, I would leave Maya alone with my snacks while I went and made out.
Ew. Okay.
You guys hear me chewing?
Yes, I was gonna say before you grabbed it, I was like, that's a really loud snack choice, but I didn't want to keep giving you shit, you know?
Yeah, you give me a lot of shit.
Yeah. It's fine.
I'll have 2 more. Just 2.
Maya's dress is so nice. Thank you.
I have a story about that dress.
Here we go. This is Cutie's dress. It has a lot of value, sentimental value. But I did break it. I did break it.
We might get there. She did break it.
I did break it. Yeah. I also had to break it today. Again.
Again?
Yeah. After I borrowed your underwear, I had to go up and then it started unzipping. I had to break it again.
She's wearing my funniest underwear ever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, chat, I don't have any. I don't have any black, and you don't need to. This is too much for you. Don't worry about it.
They're shorts. They're not underwear. It's like shorts.
That's why I need them, because I don't want to just wear underwear because
we're on a live stream or a YouTube video.
We're live.
And it would be bad if, you know, in case there was an angle. I'm wearing shorts, of course, but Maya didn't have any shorts, and so the only shorts of mine that would even maybe fit Maya were underwear.
Yeah.
But it wasn't underwear. It was actually Spanx.
Yeah.
That are like shorts, but they're funny because they're. You guys might not know about these. So they create these Spanx that have 2 holes in the butt cheeks to lift up your butt.
It's very uncomfortable.
It hurts a lot.
It doesn't hurt me because I have no butt.
No butt. If you haven't ever heard of these, I encourage you to look them up. Look up like butt
lifting
shorts.
Yeah.
And it's literally the tightest shorts in the world, and they have a little hole, and so these straps of spandex go under your butt cheek
to like lift it.
And it hurts so bad.
It's very uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable.
But she's wearing them.
It's fine.
I actually, you know, the sad thing is, I can't wear them because my butt is so big that it hurts.
Yeah, that's
so I actually can't wear them.
Sad.
I think I tried them on once and it didn't work. So
sad.
Yeah, it was pretty sad. But
what is all that? What is that one on the ground?
That's our backup if we need it.
Oh, I don't know what any of those things
I
mean.
know, but I figured I'd bring them up and you'd have enough to comment on.
We're learning. We're getting better at this, guys. We're getting better
We're
at this.
getting better at being a podcaster because we want to be rich and famous, yeah. And if we don't become rich and famous, yeah, we will quit.
True. All right. Burnout is on the top of that board. It's going back
Speaking
a ways.
of quitting.
I'm always on the cusp of a burnout, I think, ever since I started Alveus anyway. I'm just always like, if I have a cup and there's only so much I can handle, I'm always like, it's just brimming, you know, always. And then sometimes I get to a point where it just, every little thing just sets it off. Like every few weeks, I'll just have I'll stub my toe, I'll just start crying, you know, or I'll make a wrong turn and be 2 minutes late to something and I'll just cry. So I'm on one of those burnout streaks right now. And I realized it when I have this sore in my mouth. It's not a canker sore and it's
actually really
a cold
gross.
sore. It's really not. Look at it.
I don't want to.
Look at it. Look.
Oh, it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, I know.
It was really gross.
It's a cyst, is what it is.
Prezzo gave it to her.
And no, it's not how that works. It's not transmitted. It's a cyst.
Prezzo, tell us.
And I have it, and I've had it since April, which is so annoying. And I went to an oral surgeon, and they were like, "You can get it cut out, but you're gonna need a full day to recover because you're getting stitches in your mouth, so you're gonna need to chill." And I was like, I freaked out because I was like, I don't know when I'm gonna be able to get it out. I was like, it's so annoying. I bit it that day too, so it really hurt. And I was like, when am I gonna have a day to get a surgery and then just sit there? I was like, I won't be able to do this for months. And then I cried. And then I was like, I'm burning out. Also, traveling is the most exhausting thing to me because every time I travel, I fall behind on Alveus work and my work at home. And it's just tiring. I'm just a homebody, you know, it's hard for me and it's social and it's hard. So yeah, I'm on a bit of a burnout streak right now. Yeah, I hate Cutie's events.
No. I'm just saying. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying it is too much when you're supposed to come here for 2 days and it turns into 12 so many times in a row.
It's a lot. I'm on the burnout grind.
But camp is happening at some point. I don't know when. Maybe next year. And that'll be the last one until Streamer Awards that you're allowed to go to.
Right.
I decided. She's barred from my events because
I'm banned.
she keeps showing her hoo-ha.
I have never done
Crazy.
that.
I'm like, you gotta stop.
I have never done that.
She loves the attention though, so she won't stop.
Okay.
But yeah,
Guys-
that'll be your next one. And I think it'll make your life a little easier.
Yeah, I agree.
And so it's fine. And I think, yeah, you would never say, this sounds, maybe I'm saying this too much, but I don't think you would ever say no to me.
Yeah.
Because you know how much this sounds sad, how much I need you.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm just so alone.
So true.
I haven't found my book club yet. But I'll make some other friends,
She'll be fine.
Oh, actually, Jody and Sid said to me, they said, Cutie, I want you to know you should never feel uncomfortable asking us, and we could be your replacement for Maya. And
That is huge because they were great.
is huge. They were so nice, and I hope I become like their real life friends, not just streamer friends. But it's really hard to bridge that gap. It took me and Maya a year to bridge that gap, so it's
Yes.
like it
Took us
takes
a
a
long
while.
time.
But we'll get there, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But I think they spent a lot of time with me, which makes me think that they're probably annoyed of me.
Yeah, they hate you.
I'm very
You know
annoying.
why? You know why?
Yeah,
Because of the car ride.
I know.
We're in the car. Cutie is a very vocal bitch, all right? She's driving in the car. She is talking to every car around her, okay? She's like, she's trying to merge. She's like, hey, man, let me in. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? Come on, slow down. I want to get in. She's like that the whole ride. The whole ride. And the ride was 50 minutes.
It was a long ride because we're in LA and we're driving
Yeah.
3 miles, so it's 50 minutes.
Yeah, and they were just the problem with me and Cutie in the car, and the reason that Sodi and Jid, the reason that Sid and Jody hate us now probably is because Cutie's talking to all the cars that she's driving by, and I have a problem with mimicking noises that I hear.
Yeah.
So every car that I hear, every like horn, I'm like, meh,
Really?
and like
There's
every sound
times
that I hear, I'm just like, meh,
Maya
meh.
and I will drive in the car
We
together.
don't talk.
We
We're
don't talk to each other. We're both doing our like.
dissociating thing.
Yeah. Or I'm like, hey, if you could please let me over. Oh, that's so. You're so sweet. That's a nice guy. That's a nice guy.
And then I hear sirens, and I'm like, meow, 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 meow. We're not talking at all. I was telling them in the car chat, it's gotten so bad that I think it's because of my parrots. Just side note, it's because of the parrots, because I repeat everything that they say. But it's so bad that when we were at the beach, I was walking by myself to the water, and a wave crashed on the shore, and I was like, psh.
She like whispered to the wave. She's like, I hear you. I'm one with
I
you.
did it to myself. It's becoming a problem where we are, yeah.
It's
I would
also
hate
bad
us.
because I have OCD and I need a lot of reassurance. A lot of reassurance. So I'll tell the same story 4 times sometimes in a different way. And Maya just gets used to nodding her head.
Well, because I do the same thing.
You do too. Yeah. But I don't know. I hope Jody and I say I need reassurance. I need reassurance, but like Jody and Sid probably aren't annoyed at me, right?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
I don't, like
You're fine.
Of course,
You're fine.
they like me, right? Anyway, they're gonna be my new best friends anytime now. God, I was gonna say something that was so important, and I forgot it, and I'm really mad at myself. And I hate when that happens, especially on the podcast. And so I'm like over talking right now to try to have it come back to me. We were talking about the waves. We were talking about Jody and Sid.
How you talk to cars.
Talking about how you
don't
talk
like
to
us.
cars. How they hate us.
I have OCD.
Oh, someone said something in chat which triggered this thought. Oh, yes. Let me give you a quick answer. Frat Night VOD, why it is deleted is because we accidentally showed the address of the house. A lot of people have been asking about that.
Hasan!
Hasan's going to be here in 20 minutes. Perfect, actually. That's great. That's great timing, Hasan. Anyway, yes. We accidentally showed the address of the house. There's nothing else besides that. I genuinely promise. We just, because it was up for a while until one of my mods found it and they were like, yo, that's not good. So yeah, just throwing that out there.
Yeah. We
in
did not
case you're
pow
looking
out.
for it. Well, I'll still have an edit on my YouTube. Because we can obviously edit it out. We just can't edit it out of, yeah.
Yeah.
Frat night. Oh, they got an ad right when that happened. But that doesn't matter because what they can do is watch the podcast and get the full story.
Thank you for the 25.
You're not supposed to do that.
I'm sorry. That's like a lot.
We're learning. It is a lot of money. That was like $100. Dude, Durs is so cute right now, and the camera can't even see him.
Buddy. Dursy.
Oh my
God,
God,
I don't think he thinks about anything.
Yeah, he does. See, she said, "Come here," and I'm coming here. Okay, but the pillow's falling, and that really stressed him out.
Oh my God, why is he so scared? Durs, you did that.
He did do that.
He knocked the pillow over, and then he looked at it like he was scared it was moving.
Oh, you cuddle me. Come here. Oh, you're so cute. Is it gonna be live or not? Said Hasan. No, Hasan. You
can come in here for a second.
You could come in here for a second, and then we're going to end, and then we're going to record. And the reason is because we're trying to drive traffic to our brand new YouTube channel.
But we do have a surprise for you.
We do, because I'm the sweetest girl in the world.
Yeah, it's not me. I wouldn't have done that for you.
It's
all
your
right,
cat.
guys. Terrible news.
What?
It's not terrible news. I just overused that.
We have to get to the cake story? Is that what you're calling the terrible news?
Yeah, the next thing on our whiteboard is the cake story.
Okay, I'm really excited because I'm going to tell the whole thing in 2 minutes.
Okay.
What if I fail? What happens? I'm already nervous.
I'm going to set the timer.
This is a story that took me 60 minutes to explain.
All right, you ready?
No, I'm scared. Wait, can I think about it for 5 seconds?
Sure.
Can I do one preface?
Sure.
I was at Atrioc's wedding. I made his wedding cake.
Why did you need me to wait to start the timer for that?
I need every second I can.
Okay, ready?
Oh my God, I'm so scared.
Go.
Oh my God. Wait, no.
It started.
Excuse me, that's so much. Okay, so Atrioc is one of my friends, and he had a wedding. He proposed to his wife, and they were getting married. And I'm choking right now because I shouldn't be talking about the proposal. And they asked me to make their wedding cake, and I was like, yeah, of course. I made thousands of wedding cakes. I used to be a wedding cake designer. If you didn't know that, I mean, it was really, really cool, and I did it a really long time. I was really passionate about it, and I love it so much. Anyway, oh my God, I'm joking. And then they were like, oh, will you make our desserts too? And I was like, yes, I would love to, because genuinely I would love to. But it's just little me, and I don't have a bakery anymore, and I only have a KitchenAid. And so I had to hurry, and it took me 5 days, 16 hours a day, and I'm doing it. And I'm like, okay, but their wedding is 2 hours away from LA, and it's in San Francisco. And so I have to, not San Francisco, San Diego, that's 2 hours away, sorry. And so I have to get an Airbnb to stay in because that's the only thing with fridges. And I'm like, easy peasy, whatever. I make the whole cake, blah, blah, blah. I have to transport it there in separate pieces. I get to the Airbnb, and there is no AC. There's no AC at the Airbnb.
None.
What the heck am I supposed to do? And I'm like, oh my God, what the heck? And so I'm like, okay, but at least there's a fridge because I checked with the AC owner, and somebody in chat called me annoying, and that was really mean because this is my 2 minutes. Anyway, and so I checked with the Airbnb order before I go, and I was like, hey, I need a fridge. And they're like, that's fine, we have one. I'm like, people pog wow. And so then I go, and it's the tiniest fridge in the world, and the cake doesn't fit in the freezer, which for wedding cakes, they have to be in the freezer, especially in the summer, or they're going to melt. Oh, well, that's all I have is a fridge. And so that night, I start decorating the cake at midnight because I haven't finished it because I can't assemble it and then drive 2 hours with it. So I hurry and stack it, and I start doing the petals, and they look awful. And can I see the timer? Where am I at?
You have 20 seconds.
Oh my God! And I start stacking it, and and then I put it back in the freezer, and I have to take it out. I have to put the petals on it because their design had petals on it, but it's something I've never done before. And so I put the petals on it, and then there's a melting. They're melting off. They're so bad. I'm not gonna finish the story. I need 2 more minutes. I'm so stressed right now.
Go ahead.
Okay, I get 2 more minutes. This is very exciting. And it's melting. And now it's 2 in the morning. It's 2 a.m. Their wedding is the next day. At 1 a.m. At 1 p.m. I have to be there. And their cake is melting. And I hit this thing and I have a total mental breakdown because I've never lost to a cake before. I have never had this happen. And I can't do their wedding design. And I finally give up at around 4 a.m. and I text Ari the bride and I say, hey, I can't do it. I failed you. And I cry because I've never failed before. I've never, ever, well, in a lot of
in her life.
Not in cakes. I've never failed in cakes. It's the only thing I'm really good at. I promise. It's the only thing in life that I am good at. Nothing else. And I am no longer good at it because the cake beat me. But it doesn't matter. So I go to bed at 4 a.m. and I wake up at 7 a.m. to the text from Ari. And she's like, that's fine. Do whatever you want. And in my brain, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put fresh flowers on it. It's going to be great. But the issue is she didn't order fresh flowers from her florist. And so I don't have flowers. So I wake up at 8 a.m. I call every florist in the area. They're like, great. I go to 3 different florists. I buy $300 worth of flowers because I don't know if flowers are going to look good. And I also order fake flowers from Michael. I get there, I put the flowers on the cake. They look fucking awful. And I'm like, I don't have time. It's noon. And the wedding starts, I have to be done by 1 p.m. Oh, I'm going to get there. And so I go to the wedding venue. And the florist is there. And she's like, hey, do you want wedding flowers? I was like, that'd be freaking great. She's like, too bad, bitch, I don't have any. And I was like, why the fuck did you ask me? And Maya's saving Jers because he's escaping. And
don't do it.
and so then I'm like, okay, no big deal. I brought my own flowers. And we have this whole conversation about how I brought my own flowers. And I'm like, meanwhile, the cake is melting. Chunks of the frosting are just falling off. It's completely unfrosted. And so then I'm like, okay, that's fine. I put it in the fridge at the catering place. I walk in with my flowers. The florist says, what are you doing bringing flowers in here? And I say, we just talked about it. I had to bring my own flowers. And she goes, you can't bring flowers in here. I was like, what? And she's like, you need to put them by the cake. I said, the cake's in the fridge, which is right here. And she said, I don't freaking care. And I said, okay. So then I go and I put my cake out on the stand and it's melting and I want to cry. The timer just went off. That's my story. I can't finish it. The timer went off.
That was damn close. You can keep going.
But they want me to finish it. Everyone's like, oh, you left me on the edge.
All right, go ahead.
And so then I hurry and I frost the cake and I give it some texture. Whole time I look around and freaking, you know what? I'm not going to include that part. Anyway, and so then I put some gold leaf on it and I put little cute gold bumblebees because Ari loves bugs. And then I just put my flowers on it. And meanwhile, while I'm doing this, when it's melting, the florist watched by and she goes, oh, yeah, that does look like a mess. And I said, you're a freaking, sorry, Fusion, cunt. You're a freaking cunt, bitch. Like, what the fuck? Audio listeners, I said nice things. And then, so, whatever. There's so many extra flowers. I would like to make it very clear. There's a swing outside. Bitch put flowers on the swing, and she wouldn't give me 2 flowers. And anyway, so my cake doesn't match the stuff at all. I'm devastated. I have 15 minutes to go back to my Airbnb, change, and come back to the wedding. I do it successfully. It was very impressive. I get back to the wedding. We have the wedding. It's amazing. Ari's vows were the best I've ever heard, and I've heard thousands. And I didn't cry, but lots of people did. But they were really good. And then we're eating dinner. And I'm like, I'm going to steal some flowers from the centerpiece. And then I walk over to the cake, and Atrioc's family is sitting next to the cake, and they're like, what is this lady doing touching the cake? And I was like, oh, the florist was really mean to me. And they're like, take flowers. And then they help me. And then I fix it, and it looks fine. It doesn't look like the original design because I lost and I suck at making wedding cakes. But it turned out pretty, and it tasted really, really good. And that's the end.
Wow! Cake story. Actually, a really wholesome ending to that story. I do like the ending to that story.
What? You didn't hear the ending to the last one because I said, oh, and I remember something, and then you cut me off.
Is there more?
Well, one ending to the story that was crazy was that the venue person, the wedding planner that worked at the venue, she was like, we need to put the cake lower because Ari is too short.
Okay.
The table went not even that, my waistline. It's a cocktail table. So it's like, whatever.
Okay.
And she's like, Ari's too short. No, she's not. She's normal size. And I was like, don't move the cake. It's not stable. It's been melting all day. Please don't touch my cake. I leave the room. I come back. Cake is moved. It's on the thing. It didn't fall apart, thank goodness. But it was so annoying. Don't move my freaking cake.
That's crazy.
Who does that?
I like the ending with Atrioc's family with the flowers.
Yeah, they were really helpful. I haven't posted a picture of the cake because I was waiting to tell the story. It turned out fine. It turned out nothing like it was supposed to. It's not something I'm proud of. And I ruined their wedding.
Frick that florist.
And the florist was so mean.
She sucks.
Imagine having a florist like that.
Show them the cake. Show me the cake.
You never saw it?
Nope.
You never saw it?
Nope.
I called Maya at 4 a.m. Turns out she was mad at me.
Oh, did we talk? No, we talked about this on the offline episode that you're never going to see. The night that she was up until 4 a.m. freaking out crying because she lost to the cake, she called me at 4:30 my time. 2:30 your time.
My therapist was right.
She never calls me in the middle of the night like that unless it's an emergency, right? So And I missed the call, and then I see my phone, and I immediately call her back. I call her twice. She doesn't pick up. I text her twice. She doesn't answer. I message her on Discord. I'm like, what's going on? Like, talk to me. What's going on? Nothing. And then she texts me, and she was like, I messed up on a cake. And I was like...
It's so much more than that. It's the only thing the only thing I have.
I realized, but I was like, bitch, I thought you were dying. Like, I thought something really bad was happening. It's 4:30. I had been up. Honestly, let me actually look.
I was crying.
She was crying, but let's look at these text messages.
Well, I wasn't replying because I was literally I went crazy, girl. I found the person who made the inspo cake. I found them. I hunted them down. I went to their website. They sold tutorials. I bought their tutorials. They didn't sell tutorials on that cake specifically, so I couldn't figure out the technique. I've never lost in that way. You guys don't understand. I've always figured it out. I've never not figured it out.
God, we text way too much. It's really cringe.
A part of me died that day.
What are these things?
Because people ask me all the time. They'll be like, "What's the worst wedding cake story? What's the worst thing that's ever happened to a wedding cake?" And I say nothing. I've made thousands of wedding cakes.
I messaged her. It's not that bad. I messaged her at 4:15 a.m. my time in Texas, and I said, "Did you mean to call? Are you okay?" And then she took like 20 minutes to respond. But I was just like sitting up in bed, like staring at the ceiling, waiting for her to respond. She was watching tutorials. And then she said, should I just read it for the authenticity of the story?
Yeah, what did I say?
She said, I'm so fucked. I fucked up this wedding cake so fucking bad. I can't do the design. I'm not talented enough, so I have to find a new design ASAP because the wedding is tomorrow at 4 p.m. and I feel awful about it. I've never failed like this.
Yeah, it's a crisis. Hello.
It's a crisis. It was a
Hello,
crisis.
she's losing her mind.
It was a
Someone
crisis.
help her out.
And...
Well, it's like, I feel bad, number one, because it's like, it's not just any wedding. It's not some bozo down the street. It's freaking Atrioc's wedding.
Right.
And I spent 4 days making this cake on stream, and then you see the picture, and you're like,
yeah,
that's not what you were making.
What the hell is that?
There's so much, there's the pressure of
Show
1,000 eyes.
pictures of the cake. Let me see.
All right. You know, the craziest thing about this is I do the inspo or whatever, or I have the inspo, and I send it to my assistant Taylor, who's very talented with design and stuff like that, and I show her the progress where I was at, and she said to me verbatim, at 8 in the morning when I've had 4 hours of sleep, 5 days of exhaustion, she's like, you should have just kept going, you would have gotten there.
I told her 100% they'll be stoked with anything you bring, and then I said you should go to sleep. I said you should go to sleep and you should fix this in the morning because you're not functional right now.
I wasn't functional.
Cake time.
Okay, I'm finding it. The inspiration is so gorgeous towards what they got. It's kind of one of those Instagram versus reality things. It's like a bad blind date.
Good for you. You look happy and healthy. Not
okay,
me
so
if
here's
you
the
want
inspiration.
Oh, that's
gorgeous
sick.
cake.
That is sick.
Gorgeous cake. I'll fill you guys all in a second. This is where I was getting.
Okay, I mean
different, so different.
Yeah, it's just,
I was not
it just
getting
looks hot.
there.
I get it.
But look what I found is multiple people that have tried to copy, and they did the same technique as me. They weren't figuring it out. So mine would have at least looked like this.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I scraped off the frosting more than 100 times, I think. And this is where it ended.
That is fucking sick. That's so pretty. Oh, you're so cringe and dumb.
Well, it's weird.
That's really nice.
It was weird because the cake was really, I had it smooth. I had it perfectly smooth. And then I went to the wedding and it was like too prim and proper smooth. So I hurry and it was actually kind of cool that it was melted because then I was able to add texture to it. So that was one benefit of it being melted.
Show cake.
But I'll show you guys.
Sorry.
So this was the inspo, and I want you guys to know, I realized that the inspo was way better than anything I could, literally anything I could do, because I lost to it. Here's the inspo.
Beautiful.
Audio listeners, it's a mint green cake with like buttercream flowers on it. And I took every tool in the world to this Airbnb. This is where I was at 3 in the morning. This was the closest I got that my assistant told me I shouldn't have given up on. Oh, hello? Good enough. And this is their final, which is very, 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 very far from anything you guys just saw because it has fresh flowers and it's just different.
I think it's really pretty. I like it a lot.
And that is Atrioc's Wedding Cake. And that's all I could pull off. It's fine. It's fine. It's just not what I wanted.
She came out with something like that and called me at 4:30 in the morning because she thought the world was ending. Because she was like, this is so bad. Can you believe
it's
that?
so different. It's like asking for an apple and getting a freaking orange.
Cake dysmorphia.
Cake dysmorphia. But the funniest thing about that Airbnb is that, number one, they don't have AC. Their curtains were see-through.
Yeah. And they were staying in a trailer in the back of it.
They didn't tell me.
House, in the backyard.
I pull up. I'm on the phone with Rich Campbell. It's disorienting. He's calling. You know how Rich is.
Rich Campbell is so disorienting.
Yeah. There's a lot going on. He's talking to me. I pull up. There's a man outside.
Okay.
And I'm like, who's this? And he's like, oh, hey. And I was like, is this the Airbnb? He's like, yeah, I live upstairs. Guys, this Airbnb was $1,000 a night because it was the only one I could find that was available because they must have all been rented out for the wedding. It was the only one I could find that was available. $1,000 a night. There's someone that lives upstairs. They didn't tell you that.
Crazy.
And then all of a sudden this girl walks up and she's like, let me give you a tour of the house. Yeah. Where are you coming from? She gives me a tour of the house. She's like, by the way, don't use this side of the house. We use it. What?
Crazy.
So she's like, just keep this door locked. We use it. Okay? And then I was like, all right, see you later. She walks outside and they go into a trailer. Because when they rent out the house, the main part of the house, they sleep in a trailer. It
cool.
was so uncomfortable.
Very cool, very cool. I love Airbnbs.
And the curtains are see-through.
Ew. Ew.
And so I didn't leave them a review, but the guy kept asking for a review.
Yeah, he like kept texting her asking for a review, and then she said...
I texted him back, and I said, hey, you guys were so sweet. Like, I don't want them to feel bad as humans. I think that's really messed up. I said, you guys were so sweet, but unfortunately I don't want to leave you a review because you didn't have AC.
Yeah.
It was a shared property. You didn't tell us that. It cost way too much. Like, insane too much.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then 2 days later, I get an email from Airbnb saying that I'm being charged for...
Property damage.
Property damage.
And they sent a picture of a broken mirror that wasn't broken when she was at the Airbnb. It was not broken.
They sent a picture of a broken mirror that was not broken when I left, and they said it cost $300, which is crazy. They said we stole a pillow, and they said we left a water bottle on the couch, and it damaged the couch. We were there I was in the kitchen the whole time I was there. I didn't even sleep in a bed. Are you kidding me?
Crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. That's pretty bad.
So I replied to it, and I sent them the screenshots of the text, and I was like, honestly, I think they're just offended by my text. I was like, I mean, I'm happy to pay if you guys decide it's fit, but this is bizarro. I can check. I don't know where they landed. I could check and see if I got a response.
You should check.
Final reveal if I have to pay that amount or not.
Dude, I would throw a fit.
I might have.
I would not be happy to pay if I were you.
I mean, it will suck if I have to, but... All right, let's
Can I get 5 inches taller? Yes. Oh my god, wait. Always sit back like that. That's crazy. Dude, I look taller than you right now.
Oh, because I'm back and I'm slouching.
That is so sick.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my stream. I'm 5'6", normal size.
5'6", normal size. Okay, let's see.
I know we talked about it on QuarterJade stream briefly. I had to wear a children's wetsuit. Everybody else got normal wetsuits, and I got a children's wetsuit, and I felt like people could tell because it had blue on it, and I thought that it was really embarrassing. Like, we were all picking out wetsuits, and the surf instructor he was picking out everyone's, then he looks at me, and he goes to the kid bin, and I was like, man, are you really going to do me like that? And he's like, I mean, I don't know. I think he's going to... I got a youth size 12 for 12-year-olds. Do you find it?
Yep. Hi again, Blair. Thanks for following up and sharing your side of the story. We've requested additional documentation from your host. Once all the documentation has been received, we'll get back in touch with the outcome of our review. In the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, let us know. We'll be happy to help. No update.
Lame-o.
It's been 5 days since I sent them the screenshots.
Lame-o. Hold on, let me turn
I'm not
this light
leaving
on.
the review. I'm not leaving a review. It's like, someone else will do it. I'm not. That's the crazy thing. When people call me a Karen,
Zip still?
is I'm literally the least Karen person. I won't do that. I feel bad. I don't know. Is that weird? Do you leave bad reviews?
I've never. Have I ever left a bad review? I've never sent food back. I know that.
Oh my god. You know what's funny is I never even sent Hasan the address.
That's crazy.
I didn't reply to him. That was really mean of me. You've never sent food back?
I've never sent food
Me
back.
neither.
And I don't think I've ever left a bad review. Something in my head is telling me that I have once, but I don't recall what it was. Do you want to go?
Oh, no, Austin called, but then he hung up before I could answer. Are you here? What the heck?
What is all the stuff that you have under the wedding? On the whiteboard.
Well, the thing is, oh, yes. Oh, we have
Hasan, what?
a few minutes. What do you mean? We have security, and they're confused on how to get in.
Oh. Sorry.
No, you're not. 1 second.
He said the lady is asking for a fecal sample.
Okay, they're not. Okay, let me call them.
That's a lie.
All right, I'm going to leave this area because I have to make sure the security will let him in.
Okay. Goodbye.
You talk about weird
So weird wedding traditions?
wedding traditions.
It's kind of a crazy thing to put me on the spot for. I've only been to a couple weddings. The only times I've ever been...
That door did not pan out very well.
The only times I've ever been to churches are for weddings. I'm very confused because she has on this whiteboard, weird wedding tradition, blowjob shot, garter toss. I will admit, the garter thing, have you guys been to a wedding where the guy, there's like the girl is sitting there and then the guy goes like up her skirt and grabs the garter with his mouth? Because that is something that people do at weddings, and it is weird. I don't understand that. I would have a hard enough time saying vows and like expressing my love for somebody in front of my friends and family. I cannot imagine my man up my skirt with his mouth and everyone being like, woo! That's crazy to me. A blowjob shot, I would do at my wedding. I'm joking. I would not do that. But I have done blowjob shots.
Pretty much all I wanted to bring up was there's this new wedding tradition. Oh, you can't hear me because I turned my mic off. There's this new wedding tradition called a blowjob shot. Have you heard about that?
I've done blowjob shots.
Wait, no. What do you think is a blowjob shot?
A little bit of Bailey's, a little bit of hard liquor, and whipped cream, and it's in between the guy's legs, and then you don't use your hands, and you put your whole mouth over it. And
just kidding. Yeah, okay, you have. I thought you were just saying it was like the name of it, and it was a cute little flavor that tasted like cum or something. Yeah, people are doing those at weddings.
That's crazy.
In front of their family. They're
That's
doing
wild.
blowjob shots.
That's crazy.
Why would you do that?
I've done it at bars, because it's funny.
Why is that funny?
I don't know. I think it's
you're
funny.
drunk?
Yeah. I don't know. Guys, here's how it works. Guy sits on a bar. There's a little shot. It's got whipped cream on it. He puts it in between his legs. And you put your hands behind your back, and then you go and put the whole shot in your mouth, and then you take it without your hands. Is that? I mean,
but imagine,
have you guys never heard of that?
Imagine doing it with your mom right there.
I would never.
Honey, you look so good in your dress that I spent $10,000 on.
I think that's not as bad as the garter thing.
Garter toss is weird.
A guy going up my skirt. I'm gonna be honest. Look, my brother did this at his wedding, and I couldn't handle it. I was
I
like,
thought your brother was gay.
I also have a gay brother.
Oh, you have two. I remember.
He did that at his wedding, and I was like, what the hell is going on right now? It was so hard for me to watch. I was so confused.
I'm Googling. I actually don't know. Where does the garter toss come from? Like, who started this?
I don't know.
Who decided this was a thing? It's so weird.
Somebody...
The tradition is oriented in England and France. Guests would try to obtain a piece of the bride's dress for good luck, which often left the bride nervous and tense throughout the entire ceremony in anticipation of her dress being ripped to shreds by an eager mob of wedding guests. What?
What? I don't know. I
the
would
first thing you
never.
Googled, so it's clearly true.
I would never. Would you do a garter toss? Would you do the garter thing?
I would never.
Would you do a blowjob? Oh, right. Her family's
I would
Mormon.
never do a blowjob shot.
Her
I think
family's
a
Mormon.
blowjob
That'd be
shot is
crazy.
crazy. It's like a
Would
new,
you do one
it's a new
at a
thing
bar?
on TikTok. I'm sure if I had enough shots, I would do it. It's the same as like I feel like it's the same as like a body shot. A blowjob shot like it's the same as sucking out some from a belly button. You know?
No, that is not the same.
Really?
I mean, I guess they're both pretty intimate, but I think a blowjob shot's a little crazier. They're hard though. It's really. I mean, a shot glass is kind of.
I think I could.
I
do
got a
it.
really small mouth, but
Oh.
like, it's kind of hard to.
I think I would choke on it. I think I would like take it back there and be like, what?
Yeah.
The whole thing would come out.
Right.
I get it now. That's why you have to be good because you have to know gag reflex. I get it. There's levels to this. It's actually
There's
kind of
levels.
hard.
There's levels to it. Honestly, I've thought about the past couple weddings I've been to. Is this mean? Hold on.
Uh-oh.
The older I get, the harder of a time I have at weddings. I just think they're so, the weddings that I've been to, some of them have been really nice, but some of them are just so, like, cringe. Like, some of them are just really, like, they're just really, like, performative and
No,
weird.
I agree. It is
And,
really
like,
weird.
I don't like sitting there and, like, watching them pretend like they're in love so everyone can be like, yeah, you're so in
Pretend.
love. I know they're in love, but they have
okay,
to, like,
but there are
act
some
like it,
couples
and it's just
where you
weird.
watch them get married and you're like, uh-oh.
I just don't.
So that's fair.
I just don't like it. I know that they're in love. It's just like the way that they have to kiss in front of you and then they have to like say how much they love each other in front of you, and I just don't like that at all. Like, I don't know if I could do vows at a wedding. I don't know if I could be like, since the day I met you, I knew that I was always going to be with you because
instead.
you make me better.
Just rap.
And I am so happy, and I don't want anyone else for the rest of my life. I'm so lucky to have you.
And my
I
parents
love
give
you.
me to you.
I just
No,
don't think I could
get
do it.
That makes sense.
Like, Connor and Kayla, the people that work for me at Alveus, their
Uh-huh.
wedding was sick. The
Uh-huh.
the ceremony lasted like 5 minutes,
Yeah, that is
legitimately,
sick.
because they didn't say any vows. They wrote vows to each other. They read them to each other in private.
Yeah, I like
They
that.
were up at the thing. He said what he needed to say officially so they could get married. They kissed once, and then they walked out, and then we partied the whole night. It was sick.
That is a good wedding.
It was so nice. Like, they walked out of the chapel, they gave everyone hugs, they said hi on their way out. Like, it was so chill, and it was so not awkward. And, like, not cringe.
Well, it's time for us to wrap up. But before we do, we needed to tell you something very, very important. Actually, in fact, about your balls. A lot of you don't know this. But Maya
Yeah.
personally hates hairy what?
Balls.
Yeah, I think, a lot of guys don't realize that we pay attention to these things, us ladies. I haven't had a lot of situations personally where this has been a problem, but I remember a friend in high school that went to the bathroom, came back into class, zipper, pubes in the zipper, and somebody pointed it out in front of the whole freaking class.
That's messed up. Oh my god, someone's here.
Hello.
Hold on.
We're doing an
Don't
ad
let the
read
cat out.
real
We're
quick.
doing an ad read.
Oh my god, it's so hot in here.
I know.
I know. We're sorry in advance.
We'll move the cat
there's
out
so
and we'll
much
open
to
the
be
door.
sorry for.
There's so much to be sorry for. Well, welcome.
Oh my god, do you have air conditioning?
Okay, we're doing
No.
it.
Of course, Austin goes, do you have air conditioning? Like,
Hi.
Karen's here. Hello. We're going to wrap up. We have a quick ad read, and then we have you guys, which I'm so excited for. We'll get you mic'd up.
So excited.
Sorry.
Do you have carb-free wine?
I don't know what that means.
We don't have carb-free wine.
I'm gonna give you a hug here. We'll hug on the podcast, so that's
Yeah.
see hugs.
Yeah, you guys don't know.
Oh, what did I sit on?
Oh, that's my notebook. I'm sorry
Okay.
about that. Yeah. That's
What's up with your
Hello.
boys?
I'm sick.
She's got COVID.
Oh, no, I'm not
just
contagious.
kidding.
No, you saw me at Lily's concert, and my voice was even worse then. Okay.
Were you had a mask on?
Really, I did have a mask on, but I'm not contagious. Really, really quick, we're going to finish this ad read. Guys, remember that you can get 20% off. You guys don't want to get your pubes stuck in your zipper like some people always
Yeah,
do.
and you don't want to get your pubes stuck in your girl's teeth. Gross.
Which has happened to one of
Wait,
us.
how do I do that?
How do you do that?
Smooth sack?
How do you get a smooth sack?
Yeah.
You shave your balls
on Manscaped.
with Manscaped.
Whoa.
You go to manscaped.com and your code is WhineAboutIt. That's right, Whine About It.
Like the podcast.
Our podcast. You get 20% off plus free shipping with the code WhineAboutIt. That's 20% off plus free shipping. Whine About It at manscaped.com. Hot girls everywhere agree that it's smooth sack summer. Get your man on board before it ends.
And hot gay men.
And hot
True.
gay men, he says.
That's true.
Hot gay men above all love smooth sacks.
How do I pet the cat? How do I get the cat?
You shave your
You
balls.
shave your balls.
No, I want to pet
with
the cat.
Manscaped.
That's a very cute cat.
It only.
Wait, this isn't.
This
This isn't the YouTube famous cat, right?
This cat was before that cat, and
Okay, this cat's awesome. I like this cat.
this
a lot.
cat is my favorite cat. Don't tell the other cat. That's our timer. That's the end of the episode. Don't forget, guys, if you have a perfect haircut, you might as well have a perfect Manscaped.
Oh my God! It's gonna blow.
They can't hear it, can they?
I think they can.
They can. Thank you guys for coming. We're going to record an offline episode now. Make sure to check it out on our YouTube channel next week, featuring Hasan and Austin.
Hooray!
Yay!